I'd like to draw your attention to a major legal challenge brought against the British government by a British businessman called Simon Dolan, who's intending to prosecute the government for the unlawful lockdown of the British people. I did a video back on April 1st calling for this, and I don't know if Mr. Dolan saw my video, but he's definitely stepping up in a big way to hold the government accountable for the unlawful mass house arrest of our entire population. And I don't know what your thoughts on the lockdown are, but I, for one, know that many of our ancestors fought and died for the civil liberties and individual rights we enjoy today. And I, for one, am not going to be standing by and letting them get snatched away from us. And it seems like Mr. Dolan is another one of these people. He's represented by Michael Gardner of law firm Wedlake Bell, LLP, and barrister Francis Hoare of Field Court Chambers, who's a good guy. This story was covered in a lot of British newspapers yesterday, and there's a crowdfunding page encouraging people to donate, and I've donated to it, and I strongly encourage you to donate to it as well. I'd just like to read a quick summary of the case and a few comments from Mr. Simon Dolan. So it says, Simon Dolan, whose company, Jota Aviation, is seeking a judicial review over the government's emergency measures that he claims restricts people's personal liberty, accusing the government of paralysing the country and causing long-term damage. He is calling on Boris Johnson to relax the current lockdown restrictions and introduce 3 key changes to allow the economy to recover. This includes permitting gatherings of up to 100 people, reopening schools, and reviewing the lockdown restrictions every 2 weeks. And it says that Mr. Dolan's lawyers have challenged the government on 3 main points. The first one is whether the lockdown is unlawful because the government implemented regulations under the Public Health Act of 1984 instead of the Civil Contingencies Act 2004 or the Coronavirus Act 2020. Secondly, over the legality of the continuation of lockdown regulation and whether the tests are too narrow, failing to take account of the economic and social impacts of the lockdown. The final challenge will evaluate if the restrictions contravene the European Convention of Human Rights, which cover the right to liberty, family life, education and property. And just want to end on a few comments from Simon Dolan. He said, "We are asking if the process was legal, who took the decision and what the data and information were used. We want to be assured that the measures are proportionate and lawful. The lockdown is telling us to stop living and avoid dying." Dolan said, "To imprison people in their homes is an extremely dramatic decision to make. It is unprecedented, and it would have been a brave Boris to say, no, we are not going to do that. But it has gone on too long now, and we need to lift or loosen it. Too many people are losing their jobs. People can't get cancer treatment. There's suicide, domestic violence. Why are we prevaricating? It's like the government is now keeping this going to justify their original decision, whereas what they should do is say, we did this and now we are doing something different. It's not storming the city halls with guns like in America, but British people have done their bit, made their sacrifices, but life has to go on, and it's going to be really hard for years to come," said Dolan. He said the crowdfunding drive was an attempt to test British people's backbone. So hope you like the news about this court case. I encourage everyone watching to donate to the crowdfunding page, and I'll put a link in the description. Please send this video to all of your friends, and let's end this lockdown now. Thanks very much.